It tastes so nice, it just might be criminal. Hello shepherds, welcome back, and if you're new here, hello. This is where we talk all things sheepy. My name's Megan, and today we're making a lemony tart pound cake from our heritage breed sheep's butter and tangy home-crafted yogurt. That's sure to be a talk of the family, but in good ways. This pillowy, soft, bright, and moist lemon pound cake is made completely from scratch, but before we start mixing, let me walk you through what's going on in this recipe. I'm using our own sheep butter and yogurt to carry the bulk of the flavor. Sheep's milk is pretty fatty, so transforming it into yogurt combined with the sheep's butter adds moisture and a rich flavor, while also promoting a tenderness or softness to that crumb texture. You can substitute store-bought or include your own homemade dairy products. Whether it's from your dairy cow, goat, sheep, or duck, most anything will work. And if you want to pick up a new hobby, I have links in the description to help you on your dairy way. Also, I'm using fresh lemons for the best flavor, but if you have bottled, use bottled. I found that it helps to add a bit more lemon zest in the recipe to help brighten that flavor up. This recipe is loosely inspired by King Arthur's Velveteen Pound Cake with some modifications. So let's get started by preheating our oven to 325 degrees Fahrenheit or 163 degrees Celsius. And grease a standard loaf pan. I'm using clarified sheep's butter or ghee to grease my pan, but any of your favorite oils, lards, or fat will really work. Just be sure to coat it well, leaving no spot untouched by our grease. This works really well for me, but if you want an added insurance, it helps to line the pan with some parchment paper. I'm lazy and cheap, so I'm just lining a little bit here on the pan. In the medium-sized bowl, we're gonna go ahead and add our dries. So in this bowl, I'm adding our flour, baking powder, poppy seeds, salt, and whisking all together and setting it aside. Next, let's beat together our butter, sugar, and if you're using cow butter, you may want to bring it up to room temperature to soften it prior to creaming it. Sheep's butter, though, is pretty soft, so I'm adding it straight in cold from the fridge. When butter is creamed with sugar, it really helps to incorporate air, leading that lighter cake texture. And scraping down the bowl a couple of times while we're doing it, it should change color a little. It should start to look pale and fluffier. Next, we want to beat in our yogurt till well combined. If you have sour cream though, that works as an alternative too. I've made it with both. Now let's go ahead and scrape down our bowl and add in our egg one at a time, blending in our egg in well before adding in our next eggs. And then let's add in our vanilla and almond extract. But if you only have vanilla extract, double the amount to 2 teaspoons and mix in well. And then we want to add in our lemon zest. Our batter may look a little curdled, but that's okay. Let's continue by adding our dries into this bowl about 1/3 at a time. So let's add 1/3 of our dries into our batter bowl and mix it in. And then add another third and mix that in. And then toss in our last bit of dries and mix it in. Don't forget to stop as soon as you can see any more dry flour, scraping the bowls and making sure everything's well incorporated. An overmixed batter can become tough, and we want ours just combined so that it's dummy thick, but also light and luscious. Next, we're going to spread our batter into our prepared pan and bake until the edges are nice golden brown, and a toothpick or a skewer inserted in the center comes out clean. It can take a while. It may take 60 minutes, but I usually start checking by the 30 to 40 minute mark, and then routinely check about every 10 minutes depending on what the skewer looks like. It helps to rotate the pan halfway through to even out the baking, so if you have an uneven oven or hot spots, it can really make a dramatic impact on your cake. Our cake is ready, so let's pull our cake out of the oven and set aside to cool a little before tipping it out of our pan to completely cool. Now, as it is, it's good to go, but I want to infuse our cake with the lemon spirit. So while it's cooling, let's make our lemony simple syrup. This takes a few minutes to make and generally is a game changer. Let's combine our sugar with our lemon juice and water in a small saucepan over medium heat. We're going to bring it up to a light simmer and stirring it until that sugar dissolves completely, which may take about 2 to 3 minutes. You'll know it's ready when the liquid runs perfectly clear, almost like liquid melted glass. Next, let's set the syrup aside, and it should be thin, almost watery, and not thick like a glaze. And then it's exactly right. It needs to absorb and not sit on top of our cake. And any extra syrup can be stored in the fridge for a few months if you end up having some as a reserve as well. Okay, so that moment the cake comes out of the oven, We've let it sit for a few minutes and it's not fully cooled right now. It's still slightly warm and steamy. This is our window. Using a skewer or a toothpick, we're going to poke some more holes all over the top of the cake. And these are going to be the channels for our syrup to travel through to reach every corner of our crumb. So let's take our spoon and slowly drizzle our lemon syrup over the entire surface of our pound cake. Working in layers, we're going to let our syrup absorb for a minute and then gently add some more syrup. Notice how it vanishes into the cake almost immediately. It's drinking up all of that lemon goodness. And this is what separates a good lemon cake from an extraordinary one. The syrup doesn't just add moisture, it carries the lemon flavor into the very center of the loaf, so every single bite from the edge to the middle is singing with the spirit of sunshine. Now let's let the cake cool completely on the rack, so maybe another 30 minutes before our glaze is going to go on. And in the meantime, let's go ahead and make our lemon glaze. This glaze takes about 2 minutes of work and is a world of payoff. So in a small bowl, we're going to add our powdered sugar and slowly add 2 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. We're going to stir it vigorously until smooth and adjust the thickness to whatever desire you want. I'm aiming for a pretty thick glaze, so I'm watching how fast it melts back into our pool of sugar below and counting the seconds. So I think it's about like 8 seconds. I'm counting fast till the drips smooth into the pool-ish a little bit. If it's too thick, add some more lemon juice, maybe a half spoonful at a time. If it's too thin, add a few spoonful more of powdered sugar. This will bring a bright, sharp, and sweet flavor with this really beautiful lemony pucker to our cake. This is not a background flavor. This glaze will make your cake zing. So let's go ahead and pour it down the center of the loaf and let it drip naturally over the edges. These slow drips are exactly what you want. I wasn't sure if I should do a zigzag or a whole layer on top, so I ended up deciding on coating the whole top and letting it drip over the edge over the entire cake, and adding any glaze to any parts where it doesn't quite fill in whatever you want. It's really just up to your choice what's going on. Now we're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes before a final touch. Now it's time for our final touch, our candied lemon slices. Okay, so candied lemon slices can take a while to make, so I like to make them ahead of time. It's a fun, edible garnish. They're simple to make, so let's go ahead and start off by slicing our lemons, paper thin. If you have a mandolin or a really sharp knife, it's really important here for that. We're going to first blanch our lemon slices in a salted water, blanching them in boiling water for a couple minutes, and then we're going to pull them out, set them aside in a bowl of ice water. This step really helps open up those cell walls in our lemon slices to better accept our syrup. I'm going to pat our slices dry and then get them ready for their sugar bath next. So in a small saucepan, I'm going to combine equal amounts of sugar and water. And then bring our sugar mix to a gentle simmer over medium-low heat, stirring until our sugar fully dissolves. The syrup will go from cloudy to clear to glassy, and that's your cue to add those lemon slices in. Simmering them on low for 20 to 30 minutes, flipping the slices occasionally. Notice how the lemons are turning from that opaque white and yellow to an almost crystalline lemon clear. Make sure to mind your syrup levels though, and don't let it burn off or scorch your lemon slices. Now, once they're clear and ready, it'll be boiling and bubbling a bit. We're going to transfer them to a wire rack or parchment paper to cool and dry slightly. They'll be pretty tacky but jewel-toned. If you want to dust them with a granulated sugar, you can. And once done, let's set them aside to add as a garnish for our final step. Now for the moment this whole cake has been building towards. Let's take our candied lemon slices and arrange them across the top of our glazed loaf, however feels right to you. Overlapping slightly, nature has odd numbers, so I'm going to add 5 slices. Overlapping slightly, you can press them gently so they can stick to the glaze. And as the glaze sets fully, it will really lock them into place. You can garnish them with some spare zest if you want, and then let's dig in. It smells so good and it smells so buttery. The inside is this beautiful, deep, creamy yellow. It's probably mostly due to the egg's yolk rather than the butter since it's so pale. And there's dots of poppy seeds to add these beautiful specks of color and texture to each bite. The smell that hits you is like a warm butter combined with tangy yogurt and bright lemon citrus zest. It's like every good thing about summer that's distilled into a loaf pan. And every single bite from the very center tastes bright and alive. And there's this thin, crackly shell from the glaze, and the candied lemons give one more burst of concentrated lemon zing that really cut through the richness of the sheep's butter and the yogurt. Just take care with your teeth if you have a crown, because the candied lemon slices are sticky. And so just chew carefully if you have teeth issues. So we have 4 layers working together. We have lemon syrup in the crumb, the lemon zest in the batter, lemon glaze on the top, and candied lemons to finish. This isn't just a lemon pound cake, it's a lemon experience. So if you make this pound cake, let me know. I love seeing what you do. It's really fun. And for storage, usually we just store these on the counter and don't pop them on the fridge. They store pretty well and really stay moist, which is nice. And if you've made it this far, leave me a lemon emoji and an extra special thank you. I appreciate you. And if you enjoy diving into the sheepy side of the dairy world, hit that subscribe button and the bell, where we explore a sheep-focused lifestyle every week. And until next time, stay soft, stay fluffy, and most of all, stay true to you. Ta-tas.